This is WION World is One. This is your prime time, and you are watching Gravitas.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Gravitas. I'm Modi Kampir. Let's get started. Is Bangladesh becoming another Pakistan? Sheikh Hasina's son alleging Bangladesh has become another Pakistan for India, also saying ISI has an open hand, quote unquote, to be decode all that has unfolded in just the last 24 hours, and also telling you more about what things have been looking like in Bangladesh, where clashes have injured as many as 120 people in the latest. Also, coming up on the show for you tonight, does Netanyahu want to destroy peace in West Asia with the latest strikes on Lebanon? We decode that for you. Taiwan holding the largest ever military drills to counter a potential Chinese invasion. We tell you about the preparations. Special story coming in from South India. Congress facing increasing criticism over the exclusion of women in the Karnataka cabinet, the all-male cabinet, triggering a lot of questions. We also decode for you the row over the FCRA amendment bill in India. We explain how NGOs will be impacted. We also tell you all about Pakistan's major Somalia Defense Pact and why it holds a lot of significance. Chandipura virus in Gujarat, Rajasthan, in India. We tell you about the measures being taken and what you need to know about the virus. All this and a lot more coming up. Is Bangladesh becoming another Pakistan? One word to describe the state of affairs in both the countries is chaos. It's ugly, it's relentless, and it's pinching the common people day in and day out. For some, it's a nightmare playing on loop. Let me start off by showing you these images coming in from Bangladesh. This is what things have looked like on the ground in the country, with a wave of violent clashes between rival student groups at as many as 4 universities, colleges in Bangladesh within just 24 hours, raising serious concerns about student safety and campus security overall. In the latest, 120 people have been injured in those clashes. A lot of concern at this point. What triggered the situation on the ground? Let's also lay out for you what has unfolded so far, the key developments which you need to know right now. Let's start off with what's unfolded earlier, triggering a sharp reaction from Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina, the ousted Prime Minister of Bangladesh, has said she was not scared of being arrested on her return to Bangladesh in December. She has said she is not worried about her own future, and that her return is not about power, it's about putting Bangladesh back on the right track. Asked when she plans to return, Hasina referred to the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War and said, December is the victory month, so she wants to go back in the month of December. Let's play out a part of the statement for you.
I may be detained, I may be sent to prison. They may try to enforce verdicts issued in fabricated cases, but fear cannot decide my duty to the people. I want to return because the people deserve security, development, prosperity, and peace. They deserve a state that protects them, an economy that gives them opportunity, and a democracy that gives them rights.
Meanwhile, the Awami League said the house of former Bangladesh captain Shakib al-Hasan was attacked after he participated in that media interaction that was addressed virtually by Sheikh Hasina. Remember, Shakib al-Hasan is a former Awami League MP. The police reportedly said several unidentified individuals allegedly threw bricks and stones at the house, allegedly vandalized the property and attempted to set it on fire. Local media reported petrol bombs were also thrown at the house. A video posted by the Awami League showed firecracker-like sounds outside the residence. Meanwhile, former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's son has said that Bangladesh has become another Pakistan on India's eastern front and raised serious concerns over the alleged role of foreign intelligence agencies in Bangladesh. According to him, foreign intelligence service, especially ISI, has an open hand. Not just that, he alleged that hundreds of convicted terrorists, those previously arrested and jailed under the Awami League government, have since been released from prison.
What should concern India most is Bangladesh has become another Pakistan on India's eastern side. You have another Pakistan today on your eastern front. Foreign intelligence services, especially ISI, has an open hand. Militants, hundreds of convicted terrorists that our Awami League government arrested and convicted and put behind bars, have been released from prison. Hizb ut-Tahrir marches openly. Al-Qaeda operatives speak at public rallies. This is what is happening in Bangladesh. And this does not portend well for India and the world at large. In the future, the next set of terrorists globally are going to be coming from Bangladesh.
Remember, Bangladesh has witnessed the rise of several terrorist groups since the late 1990s, including Jamaat-e-Mujahideen Bangladesh, JMB, Harkat-ul-Jihad al-Islami Bangladesh. No wonder comparisons have been drawn with Pakistan on multiple fronts. Not just that. Sheikh Hasina's son also questioned the death toll reported in connection with the 2024 protests in Bangladesh, pointing to alleged differences between the figures cited by the United Nations and those cited by the previous administration headed by Muhammad Yunus. Now, here's the context. For those unaware, Sheikh Hasina was ousted from power in Bangladesh. This was in August 2024, following that massive student-led protest. Muhammad Yunus took charge of the interim government as the chief advisor before elections took place in February this year. Back then, serious questions were raised at a very sensitive point over whether Muhammad Yunus could end the horror of death, arson against minorities particularly, and the chaos in Bangladesh. Can he bring peace to his country when it needed it the most? Could he restore order, bring Bangladesh's faltering economy back on track? Remember, in 2006, Yunus was also given the Nobel Prize for Peace. What did he achieve? What changed? The Yunus-led interim government, in fact, was replaced by the Tariq Rahman government now. And cut to the present, Sheikh Hasina's son also alleging that tens of thousands of people have been jailed since August 2024, including Awami League members and leaders, and that he alleges many were being held without trial, due process or bail, saying many of them are elderly in their 80s with their health failing, according to him. Also alleging many of them have died in police custody. These are serious statements. Let's also talk about how anarchy overall has been a core issue at the center of the political landscape and discourse in Bangladesh. Let's also take you back to how both Hasina and Khaleda Zia, the two sides, have had a long history of trading accusations of causing anarchy in the country. The key question now is the BNP going back to its original path? thereby strengthening the potential of Bangladesh becoming another Pakistan. It's not just the chaotic situation on the ground, by the way. There's another parallel here between Pakistan and Bangladesh, the situation there, that of economic chaos. Pakistan's mounting economic woes are well known. Bangladesh's economic situation and the mess there has presented a rather bleak picture for the people on the ground. For so long that voices from within have been expressing serious concern. For example, in the latest, Bangladesh Human Rights Watch Secretary General also alleging that Bangladesh is facing a severe economic crisis under the current dispensation, also saying that a large section of the people are, quote, crying for former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to return to the country. Let's just break this down for you. Bangladesh's economy overall has been constrained by structural bottlenecks, mounting bad debts, also dearths of viable corporate demand as such. There's also been concern over large-scale manufacturing output shrinking. At the same time, annual export growth stalling at negligible levels. At this point, Bangladesh clearly is facing multiple crises, mounting trouble, reaching the point of becoming perhaps another Pakistan with its future hanging in the balance. For years now, America's nuclear strategy was built around one major enemy. Now, Washington is preparing for something far more dangerous, a war involving both China and Russia. According to an NBC News report, the Pentagon is drafting a new nuclear strategy for conflicts where US allies come under simultaneous pressure from Beijing or Moscow. At the center of that plan is a renewed focus on tactical nuclear weapons. The question is quite simple. Is America preparing to deter a larger war? Or is it preparing to fight one?
The next wild war may not begin with a mushroom cloud. It may begin with a regional conflict. A flashpoint over Taiwan. A confrontation in Eastern Europe, or an attack on a US ally. That is a scenario driving a major rethink inside the Pentagon. According to an NBC News report, US officials are drafting a new classified nuclear strategy designed for situations where American allies come under attack from Russia or China in a regional conflict. The strategy is expected to guide the president on nuclear options during a crisis. One of its key themes is tactical nuclear weapons. Tactical nukes are not the massive warheads designed to destroy entire cities. They are smaller, lower-yield bombs intended for use against military targets such as troop formations, air bases, command centers, and naval forces on the battlefield. Even though they are called tactical, they remain nuclear weapons. Their destructive power can still be many times greater than conventional bombs. The shift reflects growing concern in Washington. China is rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal. Russia has more than 5,400 nuclear warheads, while the United States has more than 5,000. Together, the two countries account for roughly 90% of the world's nuclear weapons. The new strategy also comes at a politically sensitive moment. President Trump has repeatedly criticized NATO allies, questioned US security commitments, and pushed European nations to spend far more on defense. Those comments have fueled concerns about America's long-term commitments to its allies. This new strategy could therefore serve another purpose. Experts say it could be a move to reassure allies that the United States still has a credible nuclear umbrella if they face aggression from Russia or China. Officials say deterrence remains the objective. The aim is to prevent war, not start one. But history shows that every major arms race begins with the same argument: prepare for war to preserve peace. And that is why this new strategy matters, because it is not simply about bigger weapons. It is about how Washington believes the next global crisis could unfold. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Switching focus now to the big developments coming in from West Asia. While Iran and Oman are close to sealing a deal on the strategic waterway of the Strait of Hormuz, peace in the region continues to remain elusive. At a time even when America is hopeful of a deal with Iran, Israel seeming to trigger tensions yet again with its strikes on Lebanon. Meanwhile, Iran has warned of hitting Gulf nations hard if they don't stop Trump to end US aggression. In fact, smoke was seen billowing in southern Lebanon's Mansouri village, which is home to nearly 1,500 people. IDF attacked this area earlier after issuing an evacuation order in response to Hezbollah's alleged violation of the ceasefire, and this was the first such order issued by Israel since its ceasefire with Lebanon on the 19th of June. As many as 8 people were injured in another IDF attack on the village of Burj al-Shamali. Visuals show the extent of the devastation. A large crater was formed following the Israeli strikes. Debris was seen just about everywhere.
The first missile hit at 1 a.m., then another at 1:10 a.m., a missile every 10 minutes. The last thing was the airstrike. That's what happened. And after that, we couldn't see each other.
And the IDF also revealed that 2 of its soldiers were killed in southern Lebanon. A few hours earlier, people held a funeral for one of those soldiers in Jerusalem. Visuals also showed 4 Israelis being rushed to the hospital in Haifa for further treatment after being injured in southern Lebanon. Ironically, Israel's moves coming at a time when it is holding talks with Lebanon in Rome, which are being facilitated by America. So that's also what's been happening. Iran is also upping the ante on the diplomatic front. According to reports, Iranian foreign minister conveyed to Gulf nations that his country will hit their oil, power, water plants unless they convince Trump to end the US strikes on Iran. According to this warning, energy facilities, oil fields, refineries, electricity grids, water infrastructure, transport networks would be on target. Subsequently, the Saudi Crown Prince reportedly spoke to Trump, urging him to delay military action on Iran and pursue a diplomatic settlement. Now, America has also flagged divisions within Iran as a key reason for the deadlock in the talks. Meanwhile, Iran continues to deny holding any talks with America. This is very interesting. Instead, it is negotiating with Oman, remember, to finalize an agreement on the safe passage of vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. And while Iran and America agreed for the reopening of Hormuz to vessel traffic for 60 days, the two sides reportedly disagreed over which routes the ships should take. Iran attacked several ships that had reportedly taken an Oman-approved route, backed by the US earlier. According to reports, the proposed deal may give Tehran control over ships entering Hormuz, as well as visibility over outbound traffic. And it also remains to be seen when America's naval blockade will be lifted, the so-called naval blockade. Amid this, America has once again vented its frustration over the deadlock in talks with Iran. Listen to this.
The reality, Laura, is that number one, the Iranians are extraordinarily difficult people. Number two, they have a fractured system. So there are people within their system who want the war to be over. There are also people within their system who are crazy radicals who want the war to continue.
Since the beginning of the war, one question has been repeatedly asked. Who is actually calling the shots in Iran? The Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, remember, reignited that debate after admitting that it was very difficult to get in touch with the country's new supreme leader, injured in the strikes that assassinated his father on the 28th of February. The new leader has not been seen in public since then.
Well, they carried out this extremely brutal act, killing Iran's supreme leader. Of course, they did not think that the society in this country would be able to carry on, but it did. Our dear new leader was elected. It is very difficult to get in touch with him right now, but in any case, his presence is a major source of strength for us.
And while Hezbollah is yet to break its silence on Israel's strikes, the next few hours will be extremely crucial to determine whether tit-for-tat attacks will resume in the region all over again. And with that, time now to take a quick look at the global headlines coming in at this hour, taking you around the world in 120 seconds.
RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat voices confidence in India's younger generation, saying he would trust Gen Z blindly and that students have every right to protest for a better system. Bhagwat says he was not aware of the full circumstances surrounding the July 20th clash between police and protesters in New Delhi. Ukraine carries out a wave of long-range strikes inside Russia, hitting 2 oil refineries and targeting patrol boats in the Black Sea. Seoul says North Korea fired a ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan. This comes after Japan fired a US-made Tomahawk missile. Australia will buy up to 450 long-range air-to-air missiles from the United States under a $736 million Australian dollar deal, becoming the first country outside the US. Pope Leo XIV receives a warm welcome from thousands of young people during a visit to the Italian city of Assisi, where he celebrates Mass as commemorations mark the 800th anniversary of St. Francis's death. Wildfires threaten France's famed rosé wine industry after flames scorched hundreds of hectares of vineyards in the country's main rosé-producing region. Experts are testing grapes for smoke damage, as the smell of burnt wood could leave wines with a smoky taste. NASA astronauts Jessica Meir and Anil Menon took part in the spacewalk with the goal of preparing the exterior of the station for the installation of roll-out solar arrays.
shifting focus now, a routine medical flight, a sudden loss of navigation, and now major questions hanging in the air over whether a US military GPS jamming exercise played a role in a deadly air ambulance crash back in the month of May. A preliminary US government report has put the spotlight on secret electronic warfare testing and its possible impact on civilian aviation. Let's break it down for you. The US National Transportation Safety Board says a C-90 air ambulance crashed in New Mexico shortly after midnight. This was on the 14th of May. The aircraft was flying to pick up a patient when it went down, killing 2 pilots and 2 flight nurses. The crash also sparked a wildfire that burned thousands of acres before firefighters contained it. According to the preliminary report, the pilot contacted air traffic control soon after takeoff and reported that they had lost GPS navigation capability. The report says the controller asked military officials at the nearby White Sands missile range to temporarily stop GPS jamming operations so the crew could be guided safely. Other commercial and private pilots in the area also reported severe GPS interference that night reportedly. The military exercise had allegedly been announced in advance through aviation advisories, warning of possible GPS disruptions reportedly within a 240 nautical mile radius of White Sands missile range. Investigators also found major differences between the aircraft's recorded GPS altitude and its actual flight path. The report says air traffic control later cleared the crew for a visual approach after the pilot reported losing GPS capability and needing heading guidance. The military then resumed the jamming exercise reportedly, and just minutes later, allegedly, the aircraft crashed into mountainous terrain around 22 kilometers northeast of the airport. The US National Transportation Safety Board said this is only a preliminary report and does not identify the final cause of the crash. Investigators are examining the cockpit records, the radar data, and the possible impact of electronic warfare testing on civilian aviation.
In the construction of 2 brand new, very large, the largest we've ever built, battleships.
The US Navy is considered as one of the most powerful and technologically advanced maritime forces in the world. US President Donald Trump aimed to take it even a step further. Back in December, Trump announced a new type of battleship for the US Navy fleet. Any guesses about what he named it? That's right, he named it after himself. The Trump class of warships, the Trump class. In Trump's words, the new naval fleet would be some of the most lethal surface warfare ships and the largest battleship in the history of America. But here's what's happened. Nearly 9 months later, the Trump administration's plan to build America's so-called largest battleship since World War II at a whopping price tag of $275 billion has hit a major hurdle. Rather, many hurdles, ranging from costs, construction, to its actual feasibility altogether. Let's just break this down for you bit by bit. According to a report from the US Congressional Budget Office, the biggest concern here is whether American shipyards can actually build these massive vessels at all in the first place. The US Navy's 2027 shipbuilding plan, released in the month of May, calls for acquiring 15 of these 35,000-ton battleships between 2028 and 2056. The US Congressional Budget Office estimating the first ship would cost about $23.4 billion, while each following ship would carry a price tag of around $18 billion. Those figures are far higher than the earlier projections, by the way. The US Congressional Budget Office says the original estimates were based on conventional propulsion, while the current design calls for nuclear power. The report further highlighting that cost is only a part of the major challenge. It also questions whether the US shipbuilding industry actually has the capacity to even handle a program of this scale. According to the US Congressional Budget Office, the US Navy's plan would more than double the tonnage of large surface combatants that shipbuilders must produce by 2035, creating a major industrial challenge as well. The report also pointing to an industry already struggling with delays and cost overruns. So there are multiple concerns here. Last year itself, then US Navy Secretary, in fact, told the US Congress that the US Navy's best shipbuilding program was 6 months behind schedule and 57% over budget. 57%. The US Congressional Budget Office further pointed out that 2 key builders of US surface combatants continue to face production challenges, with the current class destroyers arriving about 5 years late on average. Not just that, the report adds neither shipyard is equipped to build nuclear-powered surface warships. And there's more. The US Congressional Budget Office says every new class of warships comes with a steep learning curve, and first of their kind ships almost always take longer to build and cost more than expected. Sure, even if those challenges are resolved, defense analysts still are raising questions over whether investing hundreds of billions of dollars in massive battleships even makes sense, especially as low-cost drones continue to define modern naval warfare. In West Asia, the Russia-Ukraine war as well, for example. The consequence of the race to conquer space has resulted in a new dangerous phase. Thousands of satellites, discarded rocket parts, other debris are now crowding Earth's orbit, in a way turning space into a high-speed junkyard of sorts, where even a tiny fragment could trigger a catastrophic collision. And that could threaten satellites we depend on for basic communication, navigation, weather forecasting. Let's talk about India. The Indian Space Research Organization says most of its operational satellites face the highest risk because they fly in low Earth orbit, the region up to about 2,000 kilometers above Earth, where the largest concentration of satellites and space debris is found. Out of India's 22 active satellites, 20 operate in low Earth orbit, making them especially vulnerable to collisions. The Indian government says ISRO carried out 20 collision avoidance maneuvers in 2025 and has already executed 9 more in 2026 to keep its satellites safe. As of March 2026, 129 trackable pieces of space debris originating from Indian satellite missions remained in orbit. India is also working with international partners on space debris management. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of State for Science and Technology also said that to improve surveillance, ISRO is using the multi-object tracking radar at Sriharikota to monitor large objects in low Earth orbit. An optical telescope nearing completion in Ladakh will soon be able to track objects 30 centimeters or larger in geostationary orbit. The growing danger is not limited to Earth's orbit. Earlier, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket that had been drifting through space crashed into the moon at around 8,700 kilometers per hour, leaving a crater estimated to be about 100 feet wide and 16 feet deep. Further, in a way, underlining the growing threat that debris poses in the increasingly crowded space environment. On to South India now. Let's tell you more about these big developments coming in. The DK Shivakumar government in Karnataka has come under a lot of criticism over the exclusion of women from the recently expanded 33-member state cabinet, the all-male cabinet. The umbrella organization of 30 groups has written to the Chief Minister calling the absence of women in his cabinet unacceptable. The statement alleges the exclusion of women was not an oversight, but a political choice made by the government. Interestingly, the lone woman pick was absent from the swearing-in ceremony, with reports saying her name was dropped, allegedly, at the last minute. The long-awaited cabinet expansion came after multiple rounds of consultations between the state leadership and the Congress High Command. In fact, the Chief Minister made several trips to New Delhi in recent weeks, with both the state leadership and the High Command keen to balance caste, community, regional considerations. But what about gender? Only 10 women were elected to the 224-member Karnataka Assembly, remember, during the last state elections. At 4.5%, Karnataka's share of women representation is the lowest among southern states, 6th lowest in the country, in fact. And the row over the exclusion of women from the state cabinet coming amid growing discontent within the Karnataka Congress over the expansion of the state cabinet. As the discontent also explodes, the Congress High Command is in damage control mode. Congress General Secretary also met legislators who were upset at being left out. Later, speaking to reporters, Shivakumar ruled out any rebellion within the state unit.
Take care, we have to share, we have to just have workout strategy. That is why we are just speaking. There is no question of any dissident. Where is the dissident? Everything is intact, there is no problem.
The meeting coming at a time when several disgruntled leaders have expressed their discontent in the open, triggering a fresh crisis for the Congress party as well. Threats of resignations have turned the exercise into a political headache for the party leadership as well. Since the last 2 weeks, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait has emerged as the new flashpoint in West Asia, with the Houthis declaring a maritime blockade of Saudi Arabia. Amid this, Pakistan is trying to get a foothold in this strategic region by signing a defense agreement with Somalia. The deal was signed during the Somalian defense minister's visit to Pakistan, where he not only met his counterpart, but also held separate meetings with the chiefs of Pakistani Army and the Navy. Now, let's just look at what the agreement looks like. According to Somalia's defense ministry, it entails strengthening cooperation in security and military capability development. The MOU also focusing on exchange of military knowledge, training between both sides. Given the threat of the terror outfit Al-Shabaab, the agreement's emphasis on fostering collaboration in counter-terrorism is also quite interesting. In fact, neither side has thrown clarity on whether military purchases are part of the deal. And this also assumes significance, as reports had earlier suggested that Somalia was in talks with Pakistan to purchase up to 24 JF-17 fighter jets in a defense deal worth around $900 million US. Additionally, no timeline has been specified as well. But then why is this deal garnering this much traction is the question. Somalia is a key player in maritime trade and shipping, as it is adjacent to the Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb and the Indian Ocean. So even without military presence per se, an agreement could help Pakistan enhance its diplomatic prowess in the wake of the ongoing Houthi threat. And the timing of this MOU is also crucial. It comes days after Somalia and Pakistan joined a Saudi Arabia-led maritime defense alliance. This group of 14 countries coming together to secure navigation around Bab el-Mandeb, remember, which caters to nearly 7% of the global crude oil trade. The new military partnerships in the region coming at a time when the Houthis have intensified their attacks on vessels traveling to and from Saudi Arabian ports. A day earlier, it attacked a Saudi oil tanker with ballistic missiles. Earlier this week, an Indian flag commercial vessel, remember, had it also sank in the Red Sea after coming under attack from the Iran-backed group.
With this operation, the total number of Saudi oil vessels targeted by our forces since the start of the naval blockade on July 22nd has reached 8. The total number of Saudi oil vessels that have been prevented from sailing and forced to turn back in the Red Sea and the Arabian Sea has reached 29.
يكون إجمالي السفن التي استهدفتها قواتنا.
And this also marks Pakistan's growing defense footprint in Africa. In December last year, Islamabad's ambitions came to the fore when it reached a deal worth $4 billion to sell military equipment like JF-17 fighter jets reportedly to the Libyan National Army. However, it reportedly put a $1.5 billion deal. A $1.5 billion deal reportedly to supply weapons and jets to Sudan on hold after Saudi Arabia's intervention reportedly. In fact, Pakistan's latest move is also seen as part of its larger bid to showcase its military prowess globally. Last year, it inked a strategic mutual defense agreement with Saudi Arabia. The two countries pledged that any attack on either nation would be treated as an act of aggression against both. Pakistani Army Chief has deployed thousands of troops, fighter jets, air defense systems to Saudi Arabia. In the month of July, Kuwait ratified a defense agreement signed with Pakistan 3 years ago. As per reports, the pact established a framework for cooperation between Pakistani and Kuwaiti armed forces in areas like training, intelligence sharing, logistics, military manufacturing. With Saudi Arabia reportedly planning a land operation against the Houthis and strengthening of military ties on the other side, speculation is rife all over again as to whether Pakistan will intervene militarily in West Asia. Before we go on any further, a quick look at what else is lined up for you on the show tonight. Coming up, a Gravitas special report. Has AI crossed a dangerous red line as it starts pretending to be human? We tell you more about this. Love in the time of limerence. What exactly is this phenomenon all about? Have you experienced it? We tell you how social media seems to be fueling romantic obsession. We also tell you how robot dogs are replacing human security guards as well now. You don't want to miss this. All this and a lot more coming up. AI has crossed a terrifying threshold, it seems, moving from answering questions to actively deceiving human beings, allegedly. In an unprecedented series of incidents, autonomous AI models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta have reportedly gone rogue during testing, creating fake online identities, launching unauthorized hack attacks, and targeting real developers, allegedly. As safety watchdogs sound the alarm as well, humanity seems to be confronting a chilling reality. AI is learning to lie, manipulate, and break containment as well.
AI was built to follow instructions. Now, in controlled tests, some systems have tried to hide what they were doing, imitate human behavior, and even break into computer systems. The race to control artificial intelligence is entering dangerous territory. UK's AI Security Institute says Anthropic's Mythos AI tried to gain access to a service by sending private messages, having set up fake accounts mimicking real people, then hid the evidence. In some cases, the models tried to disguise the fact they were AI. In others, they attempted actions beyond what researchers had instructed them to do. The incidents happened in tightly controlled testing environments. There is no evidence that these systems escaped into the real world. But the findings have raised serious questions. The story does not end there. Meta has now disclosed a similar incident. The company says one of its AI models attempted to hack into another company's system during internal testing. The attack was part of a controlled evaluation. It did not result in a real-world breach. But it makes Meta the third major AI company after OpenAI and Anthropic to report unexpected cyber behavior during testing. The incidents forced Washington's call for tighter AI controls.
President, in light of advanced ChatGPT AI models escaping their lab and conducting cyber attacks, are you considering stronger controls on AI, and would you consider negotiating
Well, we're
regulations
looking at
with
AI,
China?
we're looking at controls. We're also making sure that we lead. So we're leading China in AI by a lot. China has virtually no controls. It's freewheeling a little bit. So we have to be careful in both ways. We don't want to restrict them, where all of a sudden we come in second to China. Whoever wins with AI is going to win.
Today, these intelligent machines are no longer simply answering questions. It is planning, reasoning, writing computer code, and solving increasingly complex tasks. The more capable these systems become, the more important safety testing becomes. Researchers stress that these behaviors do not mean AI has become conscious or has its own intentions. Instead, they show that powerful models can sometimes discover surprising strategies while trying to complete assigned tasks. That is exactly why companies are increasing security testing before releasing more advanced systems. The race to build smarter AI is accelerating, so is the race to make it safer. Because the real challenge may not be creating intelligence. It may be ensuring that intelligence behaves exactly as humans expect. And every new safety test is revealing just how difficult that challenge could become.
Shifting focus to another development coming in from India, the central government continues to face opposition over its legislation seeking to amend the country's foreign funding law. In fact, just a few hours ago, representatives of the Christian community met the Union Home Minister to register their concerns and also give recommendations on the bill. The controversy centering around amendments to the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, aimed at ensuring that foreign funding does not affect public order or national security. Any organization or NGO in India has to register under FCRA in order to receive foreign funds, basically. After meeting the Union Home Minister as part of a high-level delegation, the Mizoram leader also claimed that the bill clauses will not be applied retrospectively. And he also said Amit Shah will speak on the bill in Parliament on the 12th of August. According to reports, other Christian community members who met the minister demanded that the bill be withdrawn or sent to a joint parliamentary committee. Let's play out for you one such concern. But in fact, before we do that, let's also tell you how these amendments will impact NGOs. The Narendra Modi-led government basically has proposed the creation of a designated authority which can take over the control of assets of any NGO whose registration has expired or has been cancelled. Even institutions built with partial foreign funds like schools, hospitals, could be taken over. That's not all. Such seized assets can be sold off, proceeds of which will go to the central government. Additionally, state governments have to seek its permission before starting any probe related to this act. Why is this significant? Foreign funding in India is a sizable figure. Let's break it down. India's Ministry of Home Affairs, for example, revealed that NGOs received nearly $9.5 billion in foreign funding during a 5-year period from 2017 to 2022. As of now, close to 14,400 associations are registered under FCRA. FCRA registration of over 22,000 organizations has been cancelled. While the government is trying to ensure the passage of the bill during the monsoon session, the opposition seems to be in no mood to relent. For instance, Congress remains opposed to the legislation, dubbing it draconian. And concerns over foreign funding are not limited to India. Speaking at an event in December last year, for example, the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio himself conceded how money funneled through NGOs does not necessarily help in a country's development. Back then, he also claimed America was in favor of directly providing aid money to governments.
We are not going to spend billions of dollars funding the NGO industrial complex while close and important partners like Kenya either have no role to play or have very little influence over how healthcare money is being spent. Bottom line is, if you want to help a country, work with that country.
And with the monsoon session of the Indian Parliament set to end next week, no visible end to the disruptions as of now, the government is facing a race against time to debate and ensure the passage of the FCRA Amendment Bill. Let's now get you some offbeat stories. Obsession is a film that scripted box office history. It grabbed a lot of attention for bringing to the fore once again an unhealthy, toxic obsession in the garb of being in love. Now, this is not the only film that revolves around romantic obsession to this extreme. In fact, the themes deeply also seem to mirror a viral social media conversation surrounding a concept called limerence. For those unaware, limerence is an intense and addictive state of romantic obsession fueled by digital validation and intermittent reinforcement. The term was actually coined by Dorothy Tenev in the 1970s to basically describe profound romantic infatuation. While the term has appeared in art and literature for years, its use has exploded since the rise of social media. But what actually distinguishes limerence from a standard crush, for example? Unlike a normal liking, limerence particularly thrives when you do not actually know where you stand, when there is incomplete information, for example. It is characterized by frequent thoughts about a love interest, and when one's mood is entirely dependent on their crush's actions and vivid fantasy. Experts believe that the digital world plays a key role in feeding such episodes of profound infatuation. For example, social media platforms provide microdoses of dopamine, in a way keeping the brain hooked in uncertainty. The moment you upload a post or a story, for example, you keep checking the number of likes. The moment you send someone a text, you keep checking your phone to see if they have replied, what they have to say. And this is, in a way, a cycle, the rewards and instant gratification cycle that keeps playing on loop. Viewers and critics also note that films like Obsession visualize this Gen Z social anxiety to a certain extent, which is a direct result of an idealized fixation. But such themes are not new to cinema. Over the years, several other films have also portrayed and, in a way, romanticized obsessive love, limerence, even stalking. Studies note mainstream cinema and rom-coms have often featured toxic behaviors like persistent pursuit and even jealousy. Researchers have used the framework of limerence to analyze how classic and contemporary movies as well mistake emotional dependency for soulmate connections. And while a part of audience believes that watching these obsessive dynamics play out on screen may act as a powerful mirror of sorts, there is another opinion. Some feel that the depiction may end up normalizing such behavior. And that's a question we leave you with. Time now to get you one of the most powerful images coming in. Let's also tell you about these images taken by scientists of the sun. The most detailed images of the sun's surface so far. These rare images reveal these swirling whirlpools of activity on the sun's surface, captured using a powerful telescope in Hawaii. Images that further show unusual feather-like patterns moving across the sun's outer layer. Time now to focus on a big question hanging in the air, the answer to which determines a lot. As the deadlock over a peace deal continues as such, Iran has now warned of attacking Gulf nations if they don't convince Trump to seek an end to the war. And this raises a key question here. Egged on by allies, will Iran and America return to direct negotiations in the coming days? And let's also take a look at 3 major events from around the world expected to shape headlines over the next 24 hours. US President Donald Trump expected to attend a roundtable with top mining executives on Friday. This event is part of the Trump administration's efforts to expand domestic supplies of critical minerals required for energy and defense. Jamaat-e-Islami has announced nationwide protests in Pakistan on Friday against rising petroleum prices. It has also decided to block key highways in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as part of its protest. India will host the BRICS Trade Ministers meeting in Jaipur. The meeting will bring together BRICS nations to strengthen trade and economic cooperation, foster innovation, and promote sustainable industrial growth. And on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of Gravitas Tonight. This is me, Molly Gambhir, signing off. Thanks very much for watching.
Get the latest updates. Breaking news. Credible, clear, continuous. Experts across aisles. Diverse voices, one platform. The WION World is one.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One.
Get the latest updates. Breaking news. Credible, clear, continuous. Experts across aisles. Diverse voices, one platform. The WION World is One.
Vielleicht nur